Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Yes, it is me. I'm alive. I am well. I don't have internet per se, but I do have Wi-Fi. I was able to get a Wi-Fi hotspot. This is Moxie. It is through Straight Talk. It's been serving the purpose. However, during the day, I noticed that it does tend to time out a lot, but I want to say after 7 p.m. it's fine. It doesn't time out. For me, it holds a good charge. I want to say for at least 5 to 6 hours, and that is even with me using my TV to fall asleep at night. So that's a good thing. So what has been new with me? Well, I have been going crazy trying to get internet service. You just would not believe the hell. Like, we are in literally no man's land. There's no AT&T. There is no Boost. There is no T-Mobile yet, so that's a good thing. It's coming. They're actually building a tower not far from here, so supposedly sometime in August we can actually go to T-Mobile, so that'll be a good thing. There is no oh, what the heck is it, Verizon, all of the big names. There's also no Frontier over here, no Spectrum. Those names, the only thing that places kept trying to push on me was HughesNet, which is, I just heard too many people know, and it's expensive. I did look into something called HomeFi, which is a hotspot, but it's supposed to be like a really good hotspot that you can actually take traveling with you, but it's pricey. To rent the router alone is like $80. And then for however many gigabytes you're going to need, that's the thing that throws me off with this hotspot. It goes by gigabytes, not by like your download and upload speed. It goes by gigabytes. So when I got that, I purchased a 100 gigabyte card for $50, and I've had it for almost 2 weeks. So I actually recently got another one and put it in reserve because I know I'm going to run out before the middle of August. So that pretty much was the only option that I was able to do for now, until I can actually take advantage of T-Mobile. So that's a good thing. And obviously because the Wi-Fi is better at night, night is when I'm going to be uploading videos again. So aside from that, what have I been doing? Well, I have been dealing with more hacking. Yeah, more hacking. Not any relationship kind of a scam, anything like that, no. This time, it was, I want to say, well, it all started actually back in February. I was looking in a debt settlement, debt consolidation, that kind of stuff. And I honestly may have clicked on something, being tired after doing it for like 5 hours. I might have clicked on something, and that could have led me down a rabbit hole I wasn't even really paying attention to at that point. But someone tried to change my health insurance to Ambetter. Ambetter is garbage. Ronnie had it. He actually paid for an upgraded version that had dental and vision, and this place just never sent him a card. Thought he was going to pay for the insurance, but he can't use it because he never got a card. And they had every excuse in the book as to why they didn't send him a card, so he finally got rid of it. So when I seen that package in the mail, I called them right up, had to contact identitytheft.gov, whole bunch of other stuff. So, yeah. Then, in April, someone well, in between February and April, I received a letter from EFTPS, which stands for Electronic Federal Taxpayer Payment System. And it's more or less for online businesses, home businesses, small businesses even. And what it basically does is set you up an account that you can pay your taxes quarterly. So that's when I found out that I have a business, an LLC, with the name Software Analyst. Well, I wound up misplacing the letter. In the meantime, in April, I get a letter from Social Security that someone activated and then deactivated a account in my name. So I called them up and told them I'm not the person who did it, and I had to report all that happy nonsense to the Inspector General or Attorney General to do with Social Security. Now, I was under the impression there was going to be like a block or a freeze or something on the account. That was my understanding. Maybe I misunderstood. I don't know. Then after that, it was okay for a bit. Right around the time we lost the internet here, because of the dispute with my landlord and a local business here called HTC. I actually did report the fact that they wouldn't even consider letting me have internet in my own name to the FCC, but I haven't heard anything about it. Probably nothing will come of it anyway. But I think their policy is really ridiculous because they ain't getting anything out of doing it. They lost a customer of 22 years, which is my landlord. And they used to get a nice chunk of change from him every month, over $400 between the internet and Wi-Fi for here in the house, and 1 to 4 cell phones. So, yeah, they lost over $400 a month from that man. Obviously, they don't care. They're popular here. But just some of the way they, do things as far as the bills, is kind of stupid. I find it to be, a lot of audacity to tax somebody else's name right onto your bill because you found out at some point they lived with you. Well, so what? That's not your bill. That's that person's bill. And what does them having to live with you have to do with anything? Nothing. Logical to me would be you send them a separate bill. I would love to see the data someday, how they actually made out collecting other bills like that way, because I don't know. I mean, maybe some people do just run and pay it. I don't know, but I sure as heck would not pay someone else's bill, and that is the principle my landlord held on to. Unfortunately, they hold that against me. Don't know me from a can of paint, but and I said, I got the hot spot for the moment. They'll have to do. It's what I've been using now for almost 3 weeks. So then there was a lull, I want to say. And then, for a hobby, I started reporting a lot of scam Facebook pages. These are more or less like the helping things that might pop up in your feed. Oh, we help with housing, we help with food, we help with your bills, yada, yada, yada. Them and the fake loan companies, things like that. So to date, I have probably reported 56 or 57 different pages to Facebook. Now, I read somewhere a while ago that Facebook has limited liability when it comes to things in their ads, which I think is baloney, and which I think they should be held responsible for because they obviously don't have people checking this stuff out. Anybody and a grandmother can create an ad and a page and run it. And so there's a lot of scam crap with that. And I was interacting with some of these pages, hence how I was able to determine they were a scam. And I messaged Facebook twice and said, hey, I'm doing somebody's job for you, so why don't y'all consider giving me a job here so I could earn a paycheck? since, I'm doing a job that somebody in Meta should be doing, and obviously they're not. Of course, never got a reply or anything, but again, is what it is. But one of the ads was talking about training. Now that was something different, and that actually kind of piqued my curiosity. So I interacted with them to inquire, well, what do you mean training? Like, well, what kind of training are you talking about? Like, what? So it apparently, they were looking for people to, I guess, assist with helping other clients and this and that. And they were like, well, once you've gone through the program, you can schedule a Zoom meeting with our team leader or something, and they will see if you're fit to, do this job and join our team. Everything was our team. And I mean, some of the claims that they made, were kind of like boisterous. Like, really, seriously. And I should have realized that it definitely, was not legit. So that one, it took me a little bit to realize, okay, yeah, this is baloney. But anywho, I did look into a couple of unrelated work-at-home jobs. And that is how I started talking to this one person who was saying to me, well, here's the requirements. You have to know how to use Office, the software. You have to have a printer, and you have to have steady internet. You have to be conversational on the phone. Well, I did years of telemarketing, so yes, I can be very conversational. And I was like, okay, so what all would I be doing? And basically, it was explained to me converting money to Bitcoin, Bitcoin to money. Now, Bitcoin is not illegal. I know Bitcoin gets a bad rap because of its, use on the dark web. But, I mean, Bitcoin in and of itself is not illegal. There's people that invest in Bitcoin because of the growth potential with it. So I have to admit, even years ago when Bitcoin first became a thing, I actually had a mining app running on one of my computers. And now, the Bitcoin that I had mined probably would be worth about $500. But unfortunately, I don't have the notebook where I had my blockchain address written down and other stuff pertaining to the mining app. So I kind of lost out on that. I have no idea where it is. It's probably back in PA. But I moved that around with me quite a bit, and I used to go into it and let it run periodically, but obviously not 24/7 anymore, because that will actually run your light bill up. Not necessarily a lot, but it does. So I'm a little familiar with Bitcoin. Not know, like buying, selling, things like that, but I know about it. So I didn't see in my mind where anything like that was fraudulent or anything. I mean, they're also talking about investing, stocks, things like that. And that piqued my curiosity because I always wanted to learn about that. Years ago, my mom was in a stock club at the church we used to go to. And as a group, they purchased stock. They would have presentations there. And it ran for like about 5-6 years. And then when the pastor was retiring, because he actually is the one who started and spearheaded the group, he wanted to dissolve it. So everybody was able to either keep their stock and hang on to it or sell it, and my mom decided to sell it. I don't know why. Because they collectively had stock in Pennsylvania Power and Light, which probably would be worth a good buck today if my mom hadn't sold it. Like, in hindsight, you know, the things that you think like, oh my God, why? But, so that really piqued my curiosity. And maybe like 2 hours a day, you know, this person would explain to me like how to purchase it, how to sell it, Bitcoin that is, what to watch as far as the prices and everything, different apps that you can buy and sell Bitcoin on and things. Again, I didn't see, you know, at least in my mind, where anything was, you know, scammy. So for a test, this gentleman cash out me $10 and said to me, okay, buy $10 worth of Bitcoin and send me screenshots, which I did. Again, I didn't think where, you know, like it was scammy. And when it was fully completed, you know, it was like, okay. I didn't want it at the time because it wasn't my money that bought it. So basically I transferred it to him. But I at least, you know, knew how to do it. Like, okay, no big deal. What I really was not prepared for was the level of hacking that was going to occur. And I am talking about everything down to Google Photos. And I was unaware of it at first. So all of a sudden I started getting these different debit cards in the mail that I didn't order. And like 5 of them, 6 of them, you know, sitting on the table, and I'm like, I didn't order any of these. So, you know, they say something like that is a sign that you were hacked. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not activating them, I'm not using them. In the shredder they went. Then came Amazon. Now, the phone number I have, weirdly enough, belongs to a girl that lives not far from here, one town over. And she doesn't have updated her phone number with anything. Like, her Amazon still has this phone number. I was getting documents about her new car insurance, and I finally told them, yeah, look, I'm not Crystal, so I hope you have an alternate method of reaching her, because I've had this number for almost a year, so I don't know what her issue is, but, you know, like, try to reach out to her a different way. She don't have the number. The CVS pharmacy one really got me. For almost a week, I kept getting a message to pick up my child's prescription. And I thought, okay. So I called the pharmacy over there in that town, Laura's, and I told them who I was, and I said, listen, y'all have been trying to reach a woman named Crystal for almost a week. I said, I have 9 messages here. I go, concerning to me because it involves a child's medication. I said, if you have an alternate number to reach her at, please do, and remove this number from her account. I said to him, because I've had this number for almost a year. So why she hasn't changed it, I don't know, but that's kind of messed up. And I wanted to report her ass to DSS if I could, if I would have had a physical address for her, because how do you forget that you have a prescription for your child waiting at a pharmacy? Like, duh. But anywho, so I ordered a new charger for my weed eater, or weed whacker as I call it, because when I'm aggravated, I love weed whacking. I really get aggravation out with that that thing. I love my weed eater. One of the pups, the older pup, Speckles, he chewed on the cord, so I got a better one. And this one is a faster charger anyway. And I went back into my Amazon 2 days later to check on the status. I was hoping I would have got it sooner because it was getting to be a jumble out here. And I was like, yeah, you know, I really need to get this done ASAP. Apparently, when I logged into my Amazon, 4 other people logged in with me. One from New York, New Jersey, Delaware, and I think Ohio, Amazon told me. So what happened was they flagged my account for unusual activity, and somebody tried to buy gift cards with one of my cards, and because it was unusual activity, it was flagged and it didn't go through. So when I got notified about that, I went and logged all my cards and eventually got new cards. I have one more I'm waiting on. While that all was going on, someone added a different debit card and tried to spend over $1,400, but there was insufficient funds. But what also happened is when I logged into my account, being that both Amazon share the same phone number, and that is how that girl logs into her Amazon got opened as well. And there's a potential that she could have been hacked as well. So trying to be a good Samaritan, I try to find her on Facebook. And I think I got the right girl. I might not have, I don't know. She never replied to me, so maybe it was not the right girl. Going by the last name anyway. I said, listen, I go, did you used to have, you know, the phone number, blah, blah, blah. I said, if you did, and you're the right person, I said, please message me. And I reached out to her on Messenger, and I said, you might have been hacked through Amazon. But again, this girl never read the message, so I don't think she's on Facebook very often. And I'm not even sure if it's the right person. And if she did get hacked, oh well. So I had to go through everything of verifying the cards I did have, but I went and canceled everything. And so now I'm just in the habit of blocking my cards. I changed passwords and usernames to everything again, which is frustrating to say the least, that you have to go through all this. And now I know somebody is going to comment and be like, well, you should have realized. No, I honestly did not realize when it came to things like Bitcoin trading and stocks and things, that would necessarily be a scam, because that's not something that I've heard about. I heard about the gift card scams and things of that nature, but not per se with Bitcoin and things like that, so no. So sue me for not knowing that. But no, I really wasn't aware of anything that, you know, people are hacking people and buying Bitcoin. Again, you always hear about gift cards, you hear about, you know, cards being cloned and selling on the dark web. And that brings up something interesting I want to share with you guys. So I said in videos past, God, maybe like 2 years ago, that just for my own curiosity, I was on the dark web a few times, years ago, back when I lived in Hazleton. But I followed the wiki, which is basically like a guide to where different things are. And I remember reading some type of papers about aliens, and I remember reading something supposedly about side effects to some medication that were not completely disclosed, I guess, to the FDA, but it wasn't here in the US, it was from somewhere overseas. So that was rather interesting to read. Things of that nature, but I didn't go poking around too far. I mean, I did see Silk Road, just for a moment, like, oh my God, with my own two eyes, like, wow. And I did see a black market Amazon. But aside from that, that pretty much was all I perused. I just wanted to see for myself. Oh, and I did go on a news thing once too. And I remember I seen a picture and I took a photo of it with my cell phone. Because it was a picture that I had not seen on any of the news networks online or anything. And it was patients over in China who had survived COVID, and they were presented with flowers and something else outside of this hospital. And I had not seen that photo anywhere. So I remember I took a picture of it, and I shared it on Facebook, and I said, did a little browsing on the dark web, and look at this. Why isn't this on the mainstream news or in papers? 2 weeks later, that same photo was on NBC and a few other channels. And one of my friends said, did you see that? I go, yeah. But I seen it 2 weeks sooner, I said, online. Interesting. And so I don't know, who all may have shared it from my post, and I'm sure other people found it too and shared it, and, maybe when they realized the picture was being shared, they decided to post it on mainstream media. I don't know. But, yeah, that was kind of interesting. But, anywho, in regards to the dark web, so on Facebook, there was an ad popped up. Now this shows you that Meta doesn't check anything, okay? There was an ad that popped up that said, they sell all this different stuff, card swipes, clone cards. Clone cards caught my eye, because clone cards are illegal. And clone cards basically are a copy of someone's valid working debit or credit card. That's what a clone card is, basically. Is that somebody gets the card or gets the info from the card and makes a clone card and uses it for all it's worth. So I played it off and I messaged them and I said, what are clone cards? I know what clone cards are, and they're telling me they work just like regular cards. I go, but what is the purpose of clone cards? And they sent me back a question mark. And I go, well, why are you selling them? Well, guess what? They blocked me. And the page actually was shut down or pulled itself off of Facebook. I'm inclined to think they just removed their presence on Facebook. But yeah, clone cards, like, that is shady. And so yeah, now just recently, I found out that my Google Photos was hacked because I went to go in it one day, and instead of typing in Google Photos, I put photos.google or something. I don't know why I wasn't thinking, whatever, maybe I was busy, I don't know. And it brought up a different profile where there's no photos on. And instead of Sharon Sartori, it said SSS. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, that ain't mine. So then it says, go to, the app. I clicked on the app, there was my photos and everything. I'm like, okay. So that really weirded me out, and that's when I really started thinking, like, okay, something weird here with this. I had found out that there was a different cell phone attached to my Google account for over a month. And thanks to a few videos here on YouTube, I learned some other things to look out for too, like check your email for forwarding. There was important paperwork I was supposed to be getting about something unrelated to all this, and I just was not getting it in my Gmail, but the second I send it to my Yahoo, I got it. And I still can't figure out why I wasn't getting it in Gmail. So my thought then later on, after, seeing the thing with my Google Photos, was that I went to empty out my trash, only I had no trash. And yet on my phone, it said I had like 50 some pictures to delete. And that's when I started thinking like, okay, where's the pictures? So I don't know. I don't know. I also believe somehow, some way, my phone might be hacked too. So I'm actually going to factory reset it, and as soon as I can, change my phone number. And at some point I'm going to get a new phone when I can afford to. Factory resetting it is probably the best I can do right now. But it is absolutely crazy. Completely crazy. It's so much so that I refuse to use any actual card online. I'm using virtual cards, and I get rid of them after one use. Another thing to look out for, and I never even thought about this, there's a Google Card Manager that keeps like all your payment information. Delete everything out of it. Do not allow it to save it, because if your Google gets hacked, they have access to all your financial info. Well, at least whatever you have there that you use frequently. Yeah, it's crazy how in-depth this can like really get. There is malware that can actually be installed somehow in your phone or on your computer that will like monitor everything you do on it. And when it comes to a phone, the only way you might realize or even suspect something is going on like that with your phone is your battery decreases a lot, your phone gets really hot, weird noise, tinniness, this and that. And I've been experiencing all of that with my phone, but I have run different apps and nothing has been found. Now, I did check my email because I had a suspicion, well, maybe they're being forwarded to a different email. No, they weren't. So I don't know. I truly don't know what all is going on, but just suffice to say that, the few tips I could give y'all. One, make sure that you do not have any card info saved on your phone or your laptop. Yeah, it might be a few seconds inconvenience to have to manually put anything, but if your Google ever gets compromised, they have all your info right there in a heartbeat. And I might even go so far as to suggest don't say passwords on your phone or your computer. And revert back to the days of when people used to have little notebooks by their computer with passwords in. Because, if you don't have it readily available for them to be able to hack you, it makes them have to work a little bit harder. Now, I've heard something about malware with keystrokes, that this malware basically different strokes for different letters, and they can eventually figure things out. But again, if you're trying to prevent hackers from getting your stuff, you really got to be vigilant about it. And I still think that there is something on my phone. Like I said, I've run different apps and I can't find anything, but just because I can't find it doesn't mean it's not there. There's, to the best of my knowledge, from looking at everything, to the best of my knowledge, there's no apps there that I didn't uninstall. Now, games did install on my phone when I did an update, but that was a security update, so I don't know. there's a lot of videos here on YouTube about checking your phone to see if, you know, it might have been compromised and you might be unaware. And it doesn't hurt to do your own Google health check on your, you know, Google account. And just be sure that there's not another account piggybacking yours, or other devices that are not yours, or maybe a family member's other accounts. I remember back on Harrison Street, there was a different account attached with mine, and I got rid of it, but, you know, nothing had ever occurred that led me to, you know, think I was hacked or any darn thing. So I don't know. It's a crazy, crazy world that we do live in. But what I am going to do, and actually, by the time you're watching this video, I will have already tried to reapply. I lost my internet at such a bad time. A lady that I had talked to in a group here in South Carolina had let something slip about working from home, and I said, what kind of work do you do? And she had told me, and I said, are they hiring? And she had given me the info. Well, I had applied. I had done a mock customer service call video. I had sent that to them. And I was supposed to do a Zoom interview, which would have determined whether or not if I was going to get hired. And I was so looking forward to that. And then the internet was turned on. Really, yeah, really upset me, because I could have been working there for almost a month now. 15 hours a week I could have worked like this lady does, and probably gross close to like $200 a week, which really would be a help. And yeah, so when I told her that, you know, our internet got cut off, she didn't believe me, because she would have got a bonus for referring me if I got hired. And when I told her I didn't get to do the Zoom interview because of not having any internet, she just like flipped on me and blocked me, and I wasn't lying. I had no control over that. So yeah, that is what is new with me. And now that I'm doing this video, I'm definitely going to try ASAP to get my Patreon up and running. I have some interesting things to talk about on Patreon. Identity theft, definitely more in depth than what I touched on here, way more in depth. Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to talk about on that platform. So yeah, I'm going to try to get that all ready to go as soon as possible. And I just wanted to touch base with y'all and let y'all know I am here, I am alive and well, and I am back. I kind of took a bit of a break. I actually have been doing some reading again. I got to go to the library and actually doing some reading and doing some digging on different things, some fact checking, and basically just compiling a list of different work from home things based on YouTube videos here. And I might try a few of these things here and there, maybe do videos about them, but yeah, I do plan on getting back into cooking videos. I kind of put everything on hold. I have not been able to get to a food pantry in probably, well, since my last video. My friend's car was stolen, and then the other car got impounded, and so she was using my landlord's truck to go to work, and so he hadn't really been able to go to the food pantries like he used to. I'm hoping maybe this Wednesday. I'm going to have to talk to him and see if he plans on going to the one we used to go to on Wednesday, because I haven't been there in a while. I would like to go to it again. I have been, since I did a little bit of cleaning here and there, buying like frozen stuff from Walmart. Oh, and that's something too that was such a blessing. For the longest time, you really couldn't get anything delivered here, with the exception of Tractor Supply. Well, not too long ago, somebody mentioned in a group that Walmart delivers to my zip code, 29511. And I also found out, and I don't know why I never seen this or knew about this, so I'm behind. I also found out that if you get food stamps, you can get a reduced Walmart Plus membership. So when I did that, I tried it as a test. I ordered, some microwave meals and some drinks and this and that, and sure enough it was delivered. And I was pleasantly surprised to get approved for the Walmart Plus membership. So I was like, oh yes, thankfully. So now my hope is that with Walmart expanding out more, T-Mobile expanding out more with internet and that other apps may follow, like DoorDash, Instacart. DoorDash would be nice if you want to actually have takeout food. Instacart would be nice for stores like Aldi's, because then I could actually get Aldi's groceries delivered. Because usually when one thing starts in an area, other things follow suit to get in on new territory. So I'm thinking it probably won't be too much longer that DoorDash is going to be available here. Again, which like I said is a good thing. Not that I would, order takeout food very often, but once in a great while might be nice for a treat. Instacart would really be good, because I haven't been to, like, say, Food Line in months. Or Aldi's, I haven't been there in about 2 months. So it would be nice to be able to, shop at other stores, not just strictly Walmart, but I'm not knocking it for the moment. It's a blessing. And I'm also going to look into having my meds shipped from Walmart. And I have to look into that a little bit more, like what it's going to cost out of pocket and everything. But definitely would be a help for someone like me, because again, with no transportation, there was like almost 3 weeks my meds sat in a pharmacy because I had no way to pick it up. There is a non-medical transportation service I learned about. That's how I got to the library. The downside is it's run by volunteers and they can't guarantee that you're going to have a ride. But it is nice to have that option and, see. So, yeah, that's pretty much everything new with me. I hope y'all are doing well. Sorry this video is so long, but yeah, I'm just a blabbermouth. Y'all know that. Anywho, it's great to be able to reach out to y'all again. So I hope y'all are doing good. Take care, and I will be seeing you all real soon. That is a promise. Bye for now.